What suggestions do you have when someone's values contradict one another?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't ask this question, Charlie, but you probably should have. It's so smart, right? And it's just, so this is a fantastic question. I actually deal with this head on in Becoming You. So let me just rephrase this question is, I'm a person, I've discovered my values, and I have two that are at odds with each other. Welcome to humanity. Welcome to real life. Okay, so an example of this would be, I've got a value of just spontaneity and adventure and living life to the fullest and just being a absolute, party animal. And I want to be a present parent. Okay. I actually know a person. I wrote about her in my book, 10-10-10. I call her Ajita in the book. It's a pseudonym for her because she wanted privacy on this issue, who had this exact issue. She was a party girl. She loved, but she's an unbelievably successful engineer. She's actually now a CEO of a company. She wasn't when I heard this story for the first time. And she was a total party girl. She liked to go out 3 nights a week and party her brains out. She was highly social. But she really believed in marriage also, and she had an arranged marriage. She was of Indian descent. Her family arranged a marriage, and the guy was wonderful, and she loved him, and he was not a party guy, and she valued the marriage. And then they had their first baby. They've since had 2 more babies, but they had their first baby, and she was like, I hate this. I hate having to I want to be a present mother. I want to be a good mother. I want to be as good a mother. I remember her saying this, I want to be as good a mother as my own mother. Well, her mother was like a stay-at-home mother. And Ajita, if we can call her that, was already working full time. So her partying was, on top of those hours that she was working full time anyway. And these were 2 pieces of her identity, 2 values that were in direct conflict with each other. This is incredibly common. And another thing that happens in the same category is that we sometimes have a value that's in direct conflict with our identity. Okay, so for instance, I have a friend who's got a gigantic value of stability and calm and absolute control in her life and visibility. And her identity is that she wants to be like a famous person in Hollywood. And those don't go together. Okay, that's a conflict between values and identity. And this is, this is why we do Becoming You, because this is what it is to be a human being. It can wreck your life though. So I love this question because it brings up an incredibly important issue. And here's my advice, which is to acknowledge this gigantic elephant in the room. And then you really have to do the hard work of making sure you've identified all your values. We talk on the show all the time about the different processes where you can come up with what your values are and really identify them. And then you have to sit down and you have to look at the ones that have tensions and those that are in conflict. And I have to say something to you. They're not going to go away by accident. You have to make some hard decisions. You have to decide which trade-offs you're going to make. It's at your great peril to live, or to try to live, I should say, with 2 values that are directly in conflict, or values that are in conflict with your identity. So make those hard choices, know that you're making them, and make your peace with them. That may be the entire work of your life, by the way, but if you don't do it, it usually ends up in things like nervous breakdowns, divorces, and stuff like that, to keep this one under the lid, okay? So go for it. Thanks for that question. I predict you've helped a lot of people by asking that question.